What's up, guys? In this video, I want to break down one of my favorite new concepts with one of my favorite older concepts and plays that we broke down with Z-spot smash out of tight doubles. Now, what makes this play unique is the inside corner route to the left slot receiver. So there are a few different setups you can do here. For example, you can just streak the right receiver. You can block the running back and motion out the right receiver, and you have a quick pass, kind of like the bunch tight end scheme we broken down. But you can also, I'll link here, I broke down Z-spot out of gun tight, I guess about a month ago, and it has the same routes as this, so I'll go ahead and link that here so that you can check out that breakdown if you want to, because it's the same play, just out of tight doubles. And so what I loved about this, again, is the C route. This inside slot receiver C route is a great man beater, so you have that, but it also gets behind every single sideline zone in the game. So what I'm taking with this older route that I used to love in concept is I'm now adding the delayed fade route to the tight end, blocking the running back, and then I'm also adding the motion fade route to the outside right receiver. So it's actually two new concepts, I guess. I'm in love with the delayed fade routes. I think they are just absolutely a problem to stop. And then what I'm also falling in love with against especially off coverage man or cover two is the motion fade route. So here against man coverage you have the C route, that's great, the motion fade, but then I'm also leaving the long delayed whip route because this beats man coverage as well and gives you an underneath route on the left side. The way I used to set it up out of gun tight is I'd either flat route or out route that left receiver, but here, because I want my first read to be the motion fade, I don't want to have, two routes that are basically going to be open at the same point on the field. So the purpose in leaving that whip route there is that I can naturally progress from right to left, going with the motion fade, then to the whip route, then to the C route, and then the final read will be that delayed fade once you release in. Now, the reason I didn't just break this down out of gun tight is because what makes gun tight doubles different is you have a tight end who's on the line of scrimmage, so you can actually block him on a delayed fade, whereas out of gun tight, although you have a tight end, he's technically treated like a receiver as far as route running purposes go, so you can't have a delayed fade out of gun tight. So that's what makes this play different, and I think, perhaps more effective, that you can have this delayed fade route, so that you can add the motion fade, delayed fade on one side, while mixing in this, delayed whip route and C route on the left. Now again, the C route beats every single sideline zone in the game, especially with this whip route. It's all about just being patient and letting them get behind that zone. So we've ran cover two with cloud flats. We're running it again here. We're running even the cover two blitzes. And that's what allows the delayed fade, you to pick up the heat more naturally. Whereas gun tight, you have to motion over or motion somebody in and block them, snap block them. Whereas here, you don't have to, have a guy wasted by blocking. You can actually have the delayed fade block and then release. So, getting back to the C route, it beats cloud flat zones. Even if they play to the sticks, it still gets behind that. Here we're going to quickly look at a cloud 9 or a cover 6, whatever you want to call it. Again, you just got to be patient, and if you don't like it, dump it off to the whip route or the delayed route. But if you just wait, the C route's pretty much always going to be open. He just gets bumped a little bit because the outside corners turn into man out of this particular coverage. But no sideline zone in the game is going to stick with the C route, and that's what makes this play just a complete package. As we're breaking down here, we're going more to, the other first setup just to kind of show you what it looks like, how you can, hit that short slant curl, who also does a great job at holding sideline zones to open up the corner route. So in case you get caught in zone coverage with that setup, you still have two routes on the right that work well. But probably the main version I like to run this is the delayed fade, motion fade on the right. And here we're looking at cover 4, and again you see the motion fade's taken away most of the time in cover 3 or cover 4. And so if that's the case, then you just naturally progress again to the whip route. Then I usually release the delayed fade after the whip route makes his cut. That way I'm either hitting the C route or the delayed fade route after checking out the whip route. And the key is just making your opponent commit. If they want to use a safety on the left side and try to take away the C route, or maybe use a middle linebacker on the left and take away the whip and C route, then You just have to make them pay with that delayed fade over and over. And eventually they're going to get sick of it and try to catch you, bait you by sitting on the left and then sprinting over to the delayed fade. Or trying to man up someone on the delayed fade, which doesn't really stop it. So you just got to be careful and, not get baited into this throw. And just make them pick, because there's no way they can use or defend both the C route, whip, and the delayed fade route. So this plays a complete package. It's out of gun tight doubles. I think it's only in the Detroit playbook, but for those of you who use custom playbooks, you got to add it to your scheme. It makes this compressed set just such a problem to deal with. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you on the next video soon.